The beautiful blue Pacific backgrounds McLean Park centre stage for Hawke's Bay Sport, and today the venue for New Zealand and Australia. It's Game 5 and records and reputations are very much on the line. Not a bad sort of a day here in the sunny bay. There's a little bit of high cloud about, but it's very humid, I have to say that, and we're not expecting too many problems. A gentle nor'easterly breeze, temperature around about 22 degrees. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us here on Sky Sport 2. Yes, the mighty Australians looking for 13 in a row today. It seems that the streak will never end. They're playing so well, but end it must. And it's the Black Caps that have to do it, and they have to do it today, because otherwise they're staring down the barrel of a whitewash, and they can't afford to have that kind of feeling in the system, because there's so much cricket still to come in the summer here. And the National Bank one-day series after here, it concludes at Auckland on the 3rd, that's Friday of course, and then there's a wee break while the Australians and some of the New Zealanders get back into first-class cricket mode or test match mode. 11th to the 15th of March at Eden Park, the first one. 24th, the 28th of March, the Basin Reserve, can't wait to get back there. And then the Westpac Trust Park in Hamilton is where we say goodbye to the Australians for the last time. Well, individually, some of these New Zealand players have got a little bit to prove to some selectors now, because it seems the selectors are in the mood to make some changes. Now, just looking at this new squad for this match, gone long-time serving wicketkeeper Adam Parori. Gone also the man who didn't really work for them, Warren Wisniewski. Back comes Simon Doull, back comes Paul Wiseman, and the most interesting one of all is Wellingtonian captain and wicketkeeper Chris Nevin comes in to make his debut for New Zealand. Robert Kennedy still lurking with intent. Will we see him today? From the Australians' point of view, well, spot the weakness. I don't think you'll find one. They are an amazing side. They don't have the problem of who to put in. They have the problem of who to leave out. The total depth of talent gives them a rotational system. We may see Glenn McGrath back in today. He had a spell down there at Jade Stadium, and maybe it is that the speech to Brett Lee can put his feet up today. There's so many all-rounders to cover, so many options with the likes of Lee and Harvey and Simons, Damien Martin, the list goes on, and we haven't even started to talk about the powerful batting. Well, the sunny Hawke's Bay has been going through a great patch of weather of late, really living up to its label. It seems as if ideal conditions to make a very good one-day cricket pitch. Here's Jeremy Coney.
Good afternoon. The city of Napier suffered a massive earthquake in 1931, 7.9 on the Richter scale. The city was rebuilt in 2 years. Now, this New Zealand cricket side has just 2 days to rebuild their citadel. The city was levelled. This series can't be. Now, the city fathers, back in those days, decided to rebuild in a style called Art Deco. It was cheap, it was fashionable, and it was durable. This reconstructed New Zealand side will be hoping the pitch is durable also. Let's have a look at it. Now, you can see the colour and the overall appearance is buffy and beige oxides, a bit of adobe, and an absence of parapet green. Now, I think that means that the faster bowlers are probably unlikely to get too much sideway movement here. And in the style of Art Deco, it could be this modern style that it's the slower men, if they put the ball in the right place, that could get some work and purchase from this pitch. Now, let's have a look now at the interior dome of this pitch and give it the familiar Richter scale test. Let's listen. Yeah, that's hurting my knuckles a little bit. And let's give us this one here as well. Pull out a bit, Gus. Let's just see the bounce test. Remember how high it went in Dunedin? There she goes. Oh, not too bad either. That's pretty good. I would say, well, not concrete or reinforced in any way, more like sort of foyer marble. Now, I think the bounce died here last match. With the more moisture in this pitch, we get it nice and even. I think batsmen will enjoy these conditions. So overall, an architectural statement from Phil Stoynoff, from the School of Groundsmen, and I think that'll allow the arch enemies of bat and ball to do their work.
Parapet of green, a bit of adobe. You're confused? Well, you're not the only one. I hope the captains aren't. They're in the middle for the toss now with David Hooks.
The match referee, Mike Diness, has seen the exchange of teams, and Stephen Fleming with Steve Waugh. The New Zealand captain will toss the coin.
Heads.
Steve Waugh calls heads again. And you finally won one.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much, but we'll have a bowl first up here.
What about the pitch, Steve?
Yeah, it looks good. A little bit tacky, so there might be a bit of something for the new ball bowlers, but I think it'll be pretty slow and low in general.
Continue your rotation theme?
Yeah, we have. We've got Brett Lee rested today, and I think of the other one in a minute, Andrew Simons.
What about the fact you won the series? How's the motivation? Easy to keep the players up because it's a winning streak?
Yeah, it's not so much we've won the series because you never really play for a trophy in one-day cricket anyway, so it's sort of game after game, and we want to just keep on a roll and keep winning.
Steve, have a good day.
Yeah, thanks.
Steve, the pitch last time when you played against the West Indies, different to this one?
Yeah, a lot drier than this one, and this one looks a bit of surface, but it still make you a little bit slower and lower towards the end of the game.
What changes have you made?
Craig McMillan's not playing and Robert Kennedy is out, so we have the full bowling contingent now.
What about the fact that you've got 2 games to go, Test series starting Saturday week? You can really build something from these 2 games?
Oh, absolutely. We're still focusing very much on these last 2 games to get a game plan right that can win us these last 2. They're very important to us. As Steve Waugh said, each game is vitally important, and we'd love to finish the series winning the last 2.
Good luck, Stephen.
Thanks, mate.
So the news from down the middle is that Steve Waugh finally won a toss in New Zealand and Australia will bowl.
Thank you, Hooksy. Yes, we're just confirming that New Zealand 11 now. Craig McMillan left out today. That may be a bit of a kick in the pants for him, I would imagine. Paul Wiseman, the off-spinner, he picked up 2 wickets at Eden Park. I think that's a good inclusion. And Simon Doull, the contest between Doull and Adam Gilchrist later in the evening should be an important facet of the game. Matthew Sinclair, Nathan Astle. New Zealand must get a good start. They've been losing early wickets, and that has been one of their problems. Australia, well, as Steve Waugh pointed out, Brett Lee gets a well-earned breather today, and Andrew Simons, very talented all-rounder, he will be carrying the drink. So back comes Glenn McGrath, a bit of pace and fire in their bowling attack. They've got the new ball early on, remember, and don't disregard Damien Fleming. We talk so much about Lee and McGrath. Fleming has got an amazing strike rate in this form of the game. Ian Harvey and Shane Lee will be the specialist all-rounders, and Damien Martin, of course, he can do the job with the ball. He did it in Dunedin, but that's where the strength lies right throughout the list. You cannot find a weak component in that lineup. So here they come, the Australians. They are looking for 13 in a row, and I think you'd be a little silly to bet against them, the kind of form they're in at the moment. It seems they're unstoppable. They've cleaned out Pakistan, they've cleaned out India, and they've already taken this series against New Zealand. Just confirming that the New Zealand openers will be Nathan Astle on the left and Matthew Sinclair. Interesting to see who takes strike this time around. It's Matthew Sinclair, a first ball duck on his debut. Nathan Astle, so much these days depends on him. Let's go upstairs and join our first commentators for the first half hour of play, Jeremy Coney and David Hooks.
Thank you very much, Ian. The Australian captain, Steve Waugh. Sleeveless sweater. It's quite a pleasant day here. So that's a little bit of a surprise, but this man here, Sinclair, in his second one-day international, opening with Nathan Astle. And there is the man of the moment on the world cricketing stage, Adam Gilchrist. So 3 or 4 hours before he goes out with the bat. But what an important game it is for New Zealand. Test match just 10 days or so away. They'd really like to take some positives out of today's game and Friday afternoon and evening's game in Auckland. Fabulous setting here. And Jeremy, this could be a beauty. New Zealand, not by their own choice though, but batting first.
Yes, that'll be interesting, won't it? The last 4 one-day internationals here in Napier have been won by the team batting second, but I think this pitch is just a little bit better than a few others that we've had here. It looks a wee bit harder and a little bit more moisture. It was much drier last time when New Zealand played the West Indies, and I think if batsmen can get in, while they might not be really quite the pace and the bounce that we've seen in the last 2 games in this series where they've been outstanding pitches, I think that they'll find that they can still score runs here. It's a ground that is configured quite short sideways and quite long in terms lengthwise, you can see there. Quite short sideways here, so bowlers, if they're going to err, I think it's much better if they're further up to the batsman.
Now that's the problem at the moment while the game has not started. Glenn McGrath ready to bowl the opening ball to Astle, but people are walking behind the near see-through sight screen. It's one of the Art Deco sight screens. So McGrath getting ready to bowl. Astle on strike, just 2 slips. So the first ball of the match, McGrath to Astle. And as you would have predicted, right on line, Glenn McGrath, just a fraction wide, but good length. And it carried really well to the wicketkeeper. McGrath's stunning statistics in one-day cricket. Under 4 runs per over, a wicket and a half per game. 4 times he has taken 5 wickets in an innings. Fabulous record by the world's best opening bowler.
See how far the keeper is standing back there. Here's the last ball to Astle, and the carry through. Well, it doesn't look fast, but it's up there, isn't it?
Got him forward and just a little squaring up, indicating there might have been just a little bit of leg cut movement for McGrath. Brand spanking new ball in his hand. Pitch, as Steve Waugh described, perhaps just a touch tacky. Just enough.
There is Nathan Astle, 106 matches, strike rate of 72, that's pretty good. 23 50s, so important to New Zealand.
And dropped. A simple catch to Michael Bevan at wide mid-off, and Nathan Astle gets off the mark courtesy of a dropped catch.
Well, a blemish. You don't see these too often, do you? Astle not quite to it. Played through the line as he tends to do. It was straight to Bevan, really to his left. 2 hands, comfortable. Bad mistake.
So it brings Sinclair on strike in his first one-day international a couple of days ago. He got out first ball. So a few butterflies and nerves in this young man's tummy. Right on line. He survives to the applause of the crowd, but he will be absolutely desperate to get that initial single, to get away from the strike and just get it ticked over. And he's at the striker's end because Nathan Astle had a let off.
Hit quite well up on the bat, didn't it? But there you are, you can see it's really comfortable height to Bevan. Plenty of time to see it. You don't see those sort of mistakes too often from this Australian side.
Played to the end of an eventful over for New Zealand. Glenn McGrath's the first of the match. New Zealand won without loss.
Well, for 3 times in this series we've had a batting side 1 for none. It could well have been the 4th time today. As Astle was put down, we've got a wide range of people here to enjoy the cricket. That's very Art Deco, that, isn't it?
Full house as Damien Fleming will open the bowling for Australia. Couple of slips and we'll see it once again. Man goes out to square leg on the fence. Fleming very good as well, just to tick over the 4 runs per over. So finally comes up Michael Bevan into the circle, and it square leg goes out to the very short square leg boundary. At about 67 metres from the stumps by my pacing this morning. Ball and swinging. what happened to Michael Bevan in the last over at normal speed. Smashed through and a sitter put down. Very good fieldsman, Michael Bevan. So will Astle make Australia pay?
Not the screen up top. Sorry, Evan.
I think if that had been caught, Stephen Fleming would walk out and stand at square leg next match. Come in at number 3. If he'd been caught, square leg on the fence. Third man, so this brings up Sinclair to face the man who got him out first ball with a gentle outswing that was wide of the off stump.
Just a touch. That's it up.
Nerves for all batsmen when they first walk to the crease, but coming off a first ball dismissal on debut, Fleming the bowler. He just chased it wide. Gilchrist took a pretty good catch. So it's Fleming to Sinclair. That's better. Into the ball.
There is movement here, though, for Damien Fleming. You can see there's a wee bit of humidity around, but again, not much foot movement. That front foot, particularly for Sinclair, tends to get the shoulder going, but the foot doesn't go with it. And that movement, a foxy inducement to naive batsmen.
Big shout, and he's got him. So Sinclair has got consecutive ducks against the bowling of Damien Fleming. He doesn't look too happy with the decision, but the umpire was quite hasty in putting his finger up. And was it too high? Does Sinclair think that the ball was too high? But for the second consecutive match, he started his career with 0 and 0.
Well, it's pitched just outside. It's hit him in line, and look, it's hit. Look where it's hit him. That's above the knee roll. That is certainly high. We'll have to see that later from side on. Sinclair 0, New Zealand 2 runs, 1 wicket.
Every one of you can call New Zealand for just $6 for each half hour. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With Telstra 0018 Easy Half Hours. Telstra Easy Rates for every one of you.
Oh, Stephen never kicked a field goal in his life.
He tried a few. Never actually kicked one. Give it up, Bernie.
The World Cup semi-final.
Well, this was it, do or die. It was time for someone to pull out something special.
21 all.
Was a chance out wide if we spun it.
13 minutes into extra time.
But Bernie had other ideas.
Regan.
I looked up and I couldn't believe it. I thought, don't kick it. Don't kick it.
Don't kick it.
Drop goal attempt by Larkham. Look at this. That's unbelievable. Stephen Larkham has put Australia in the lead.
I reckon I could do it again. Maybe.
Rugby. Anything can happen.
Stephen Fleming again comes to the crease at a very early stage. Stephen Fleming facing Damien Fleming. And immediately off the mark, but in the air for about 20 metres, but away from wide mid-on. Damien marking the fieldsman, so he's off the mark immediately.
Well, 3 centuries there. Here's the reason he's there. Now, it pitches, it's about mid-crease. It pitches outside off and is really hitting perhaps in front of middle and leg middle. You can see, and that's okay, but let's look at the height. New ball, bit more bounce. Just in front, a wee bit high, I think. To be really certain. It's the end of the second over. New Zealand 3 for 1 wicket.
Very good swing bowler, Damien Fleming. Might consider himself a touch fortunate to have that dismissal, but he'll take it. Pitching outside off, not coming back, and you would have to be horribly disappointed if you're a batsman with that one giving out. Sinclair can't believe it. And McGrath, who had a dropped chance in his first over, went down to fine leg and saw Fleming get a wicket in his first. Stephen Fleming, the New Zealand captain on strike. 2 slips, only, no gully. Regulation leg side field. Square leg and mid-on and fine leg. And it's moved away. Well played by Fleming in the end. Dragged his hands away from the ball. High up on the leg, and you can see there the ball clearly going over the stumps. Not a long way forward, but he's a long way disappointed. Got a great love of the history of the game, and 115, my reckoning, is the number that Damien Fleming was when he was selected all the one-day cricketers that played for Australia. He was the 115th. So that's the significance. Tough time again for Stephen Fleming. Comes in early in the innings and has to try and keep scoring. That's what happened quite quickly. A bit of a wry look by Damien Fleming. It wasn't the wholehearted Fleming appeal. And he let the ball go, and the ball hit the bat.
Well, you see, this just indicates how close Glenn McGrath gets, just creating uncertainties in the batsmen they initially look to play because they think it's so close. At the last moment pulls out, but it is a little late in this case. McGrath, very consistent, accurate bowler, tends to push you back on the crease line a bit.
Lovely shot, and it's bounced away between the man at cover and the man at point, and it's a very short boundary over that side, about 65 metres only. Nice way to begin your innings. A little boundary, cut shot, means that your feet have probably moved properly. The ball's at the middle of the bat, and always a comfortable feeling for a batsman.
Yeah, well, Fleming stands up here, doesn't he? He waits for it to arrive, and it just punches that square on the offside, finding the gap just at sort of cover point. McGrath realising he's just a wee bit short and a wee bit wide to enable Fleming to get into that shot.
Fleming on 5, Astle on 2. At the end of the third over, it's 7-4-1. Tonight on Sky Sport, Lion Red Sports Cafe live at 8:30. Nathan Astle 2, Stephen Fleming 5, as Damien Fleming will bowl to Astle. A lovely straight bat shot by Astle.
Yes, you don't get the feeling that this pitch is really quick, do you? And it may well be that Astle, later on, as he gets more accustomed, will actually go through this ball and he'll hit it up and over. You can see there he's deliberately presenting a good straight bat and hit into the ground, into the pitch.
Nice placement. And overthrows, maybe. No, they couldn't get them. Michael Bevan coming in quickly from square leg. Just couldn't quite get back. They'd run through, they scampered through for the single. And Michael Bevan was out at square leg on the fence.
And there's again, that's a punch stroke from Astle, running with the shot. and getting in pretty comfortably, I think. No one backing up, but Bevan, good work coming from the boundary to prevent a further run.
One slip and a short mid-wicket for Stephen Fleming. Does hit in the air a little bit through that mid-wicket area. We saw him get off the mark with that in the previous over, first ball that he faced. War at short mid-wicket. The second catching man. Shane Warne is at first slip.
Just an indication here that the pitch is holding just a little. Fleming just getting through his stroke, the ball not quite there. And the hands really have just closed the face of the bat. You just get the feeling that short mid-wicket is a good position for someone like Stephen Fleming. And I think batsmen, as they look at this pitch here, you can see the majority is it's brown. There are a few cracks there. They're not moving, but it tends to have that purchase just to hold the ball a little. And so batsmen, if they're going to play their shots, they've got to go through with them.
High legs up and got away with it, Australia. A little bit lucky. Fleming does bowl into the left-hander's pads. 4 overs gone, 8 for 1.
Get into Harvey Norman for a red-hot deal on an air conditioner. We have 2.5 horsepower reverse cycle split systems from as low as $19.95. And you can buy now and get 2 years interest-free terms. Top brands like Fujitsu, Panasonic, Kelvinator, Samsung, Electra and LG, plus 5 years parts and labour warranty. Split systems and room air conditioners all on display and sale now. Installation's not a problem. Keep your cool. Hurry into Harvey Norman before the heat sends you crazy.
1 wicket fallen. Sinclair out. LBW for naught. And past the man, it's Gully. Only a single though, Shane Lee. Only one Lee playing today. Brett's having a spell. First slip. This morning he'd been playing any golf. He said no. Some jet boating, some winery tours. Single again now to Shane Lee. And by the look of Shane Warne, didn't buy the razor blades at the same shop that he bought the bad glasses from. He's in good spirits, good form, really looking forward to playing today. He doesn't want to rest. Most of the faster bowlers, or all of the faster bowlers now have been rested, with Brett Lee missing today. Folly, can't get it past Bevan. Slowish pitch meant that Aston didn't quite middle it. You really have to be careful driving when the pitch is not fast or not one-paced.
Yeah, well, this one goes along the ground, doesn't it? I think that it may well be one of those pitches, once you've been in for a few overs, with perhaps bowling just short of a length, you can actually carry through with those strokes and hit the ball through the field and over the field particularly.
Like that. What a lovely shot. Glenn McGrath doesn't get hit back over his head very often, but that's the style of Nathan Astle. The bottom hand player, backs himself, good judgment and good shot selection.
Just a suggestion, he closes the face a wee bit here. Yes, he does, and that drags it straight, if you like, makes it very safe. But there's that short of a length delivery, enough to get onto the front foot, well enough up for that, and away she goes.
And an indication that there's not a lot of pace in the pitch. Australia winning the toss and electing to bowl. So what can New Zealand do? Can they post a total to put some pressure on the world champions?
Yeah.
Lovely shot again, and that'll go all the way to the fence. Consecutive boundaries for Astle.
see if this is width. It's certainly short enough. Maybe an overcorrection by McGrath. It's enabled Astle to get away. Well, it's not that wide, really. It's a good stroke. Played on lengths.
And again, 3 fours off 3 balls. So McGrath, who's normally so accurate with length and line, just straying, and he's saying, I can't believe it. It's 22 for 1.
This weekend on Fox Sports, Rugby Union at its best with the second round from the Amy Super 12. Full coverage of every game, exclusively live. West Tigers clash with Penrith and Sydney Roosters take on the Northern Eagles. Catch both games on Fox Sports Central live. The best in golf as the US PGA Tour continues with the Doral Ryder Open, live and exclusive. And we keep you updated with all the latest from home and abroad on Fox Sports News. That's this weekend on Fox Sports.
Fleming to Fleming. Only 1 slip again, still that man at short mid-wicket for the captain. And he gets in for his chop as well. 16 for New Zealand off the last 4 deliveries.
Well, this is a delicious cricket stroke, isn't it? It's the good step, it's the head in position, the balance, which Fleming sometimes has difficulty with, but he holds it there, you'll see, punching the ball to the left of mid-off. And that's away to the boundary.
Slow ball, well bowled, and Stephen Fleming pays the penalty. He's a very good slow ball, Damien Fleming, and Stephen Fleming dismissed the gain by his namesake in a lovely, clever piece of bowling. 4 boundaries, and then the wicket of the captain.
Well, sometimes an arm player, just look, you see, he just gets too far out, tries to alter the grip in the hands, it opens, he's gone for 10, New Zealand now 26 for 2.
Updating Fox Sports News, Kangaroo skipper Wayne Carey is free to play in this weekend's AFL opening round after being cleared of a striking charge at the tribunal last night. And Ricky Ponting will soon know whether he'll be joining the Australian cricket team in New Zealand. Ponting is undergoing a fitness test on his injured ankle.
Fox Sports News tonight with Caroline Searcy.
Having made the new Nissan Maxima even more powerful, we improved road holding. Having improved road holding, we made it even safer. After making it even safer, we made it even quieter, even roomier, and even more luxurious. Oh, the other thing we changed is the price. The new Nissan Maxima, now from only $36,990. Just wait till you drive it.
Just wait till you drive it.
Roger Twos. He has made the one-day game his own, made himself unavailable for test matches. Strike rate is pretty good, 72, 14 half centuries. Yet to bring up the 3 figures. Shane Warne is welcoming to the crease.
We've just noticed an impact here. The bat face opens, and that's just a clever and deceptive piece of bowling that's deceived, certainly, Stephen Fleming. Almost an acknowledgement, wasn't there? Well bowled.
No!
And a bit of a fumble, but no damage done for Australia. Good crowd. Sell-out crowd here in Napier. And the off-spin of Fleming. Same arm speed, but completely different ball speed.
Particularly clever after he's been struck for a boundary, isn't it? And he's encouraged to get onto the front foot again.
No!
It's a pretty simple catch, but I think by the reaction, it may have even just nearly popped out. And Steve Waugh gives it the, ooh, lucky to stay in my hands. Wide, and he plays the pull shot. Probably could have played the cut shot, but not great pace in the pitch, and Two's decided to play the other cross bat shot. has gone 20. In fact, no ball.
There you are, just overstepping slightly, Damien Fleming. You can see some of the marks on the ground he's passing there. Put on the ground by the coach.
No!
That's 6 gone. New Zealand 27 for 2. There we are. There are some of those marks that I'm talking about. With the letter corresponding to the bowler who starts his run up there. Marked out prior to the game.
Sellout crowd here in Napier. Should be a great day. A little bit humid. So the ball swinging around for Fleming. This is McGrath. And it's a good short ball, but too high.
Yeah, but it just seemed to be the sort of delivery that created some uncertainty for the batsman. It was really, it surprised him, you feel. Sort of a little paddle and getting out of the way of the batsman, just turning the head. Slightly balletic.
Got to keep bringing that Oxford Dictionary. Well, listen to your pitch reports, Jerry. Then McGrath into his 4th over. Spanked for 3 consecutive boundaries in his previous over to finish the over. Stand up and try and smack it through the offside. Bottom hand coming into play. Michael Bevan's having a bit of a nightmare there today. I don't think he's fielded one ball cleanly. Dropped a catch in the first over. In fact, dropped Astle.
As you can see here, this is sort of playing the ball on the up. See, notice that Astle stands tall, again expecting a bit more pace, and so he's through his stroke, and that's why you see the face of the bat closing a bit. So we can't say this is a fast pitch by any means.
Lovely shot. 3 bounces and over the rope. You can't bowl short on a slowish pitch to a player who's a good puller. You are inviting some danger.
Yes, well, he's already had one short, tried to get this one, and he's really just paddled it round there, getting it over the man just behind square. And enough on it to be safe.
Well, the Andre Agassi topspin cross-court forehand. And there's no danger to run on that one. So Astle has shown his intention. So it's going to have to be a change of pace by the Australian bowlers. Keep the length right. But at the moment, Dan McGrath is just a little frustrated.
Yes, I don't think Glenn likes this pitch much, but certainly Astle's enjoying anything that's pitched up around about off stump, just short of a length.
Second slip has gone to short cover. Can he get past mid-on? No, he can't. Good piece of fielding, keeping the batsmen on their toes or in their crease.
This is quite good calling. While he moves, he's letting the other batsman twos know that he's just stay there waiting, and in the end pretty safe. At least some communication between the New Zealand batsmen. They really have to set a good target here today. They've lost 2 early wickets. Got to get a good partnership going.
Waiting there.
End of the 7th over, New Zealand at 36 for 2. overs gone. Australia winning the toss, and the bowling have picked up a couple of wickets. And Damien Fleming to resume to Twos, who is yet to get off the mark. And half a shout. Umpire on this occasion not interested. Only making up for the previous one. Changing the commentary position. It's a welcome to Willie Watson, and with him, Ian Smith.
Thank you, David. Yes, this one bounced again, perhaps around about the same height as the Sinclair one. Looked as if it was in reasonable line. Gone over the top.
No, no, no!
Just got a feel for young Matthew Sinclair. Absolute nightmare for him. So much talk about him coming into the side and making a first ball duck and then a marginal LBW to collect another one. It's going through his mind, and here we go here. Looking to hit it square, and it bounced above the knee roll.
Yep.
Roger Toos gets off the mark. Tough game, Willie, isn't it?
Well, it is. He must be nervous about the Auckland game coming up next. I thought it was a harsh decision, and he stepped off to one side. Very surprised to find even Watkin giving him out. Not much he can do about it now, though.
New Zealand are going quite nicely at 4.95. It certainly is advantage Australia yet again. Just haven't had a period in play, New Zealand, where they've been able to dominate. This being the 5th match.
Waiting now!
Nathan Astle, things would be looking just a little sick in the New Zealand batting lineup. The most consistent performer. Bottom edge. Roger Toos favouring the pull shot but not playing it well enough. 38 for 2.
Go digital. Go Harvey Norman.
My new mobile phone is great. It's a Nokia. I got it from Harvey Norman. They did me a fantastic deal on the Optus network.
Go digital. Go Harvey Norman.
I went for this really small Motorola from Harvey's with Vodafone. The talk time package really suits my lifestyle.
Go digital. Go Harvey Norman.
Harvey Norman gave me a free accessory pack as a bonus when I bought my Ericsson.
Harvey Norman had the phones, the plan, Optus or Vodafone, and the bonuses. Go digital. Go Harvey Norman.
No McMillan today, no Torori, so emphasis on Chris Nevin, the new wicketkeeper, and the batting lineup, which has already faltered twofold. Sinclair out without scoring, Fleming gone for 10. It's 2 for 38. They've only needed just McGrath and Fleming to make the inroads. McGrath has been punished by Nathan Astle. Fleming has 2 wickets. Now a new bowler, Ian Harvey. And he could be gone as well. Oh, just clears the man back at deep square leg, Damien Martin. But for a horrible moment, Nathan Astle would have been thinking twice.
Damien Martin would have thinking this was going straight down the throat. Gets onto it just a little bit underneath it, Nathan Astle. Damien Martin at this stage starts walking in. Oh, and it was all fairly close stuff. He's in there probably about a metre.
Quick single, so a bit of a flourish to start with Harvey. I would imagine that Steve Waugh and Ian Harvey may just have another little look at Damien Fleming's positioning here, because the reason he's back there is to be back there. Now this has just cleared the rope. If he's back towards the rope a little further, it's around about waist height. You don't see that happen very often, and make the captain very happy, or the bowler.
Wouldn't make the captain very happy either if he had to turn around and signal 4.
Yes.
Very useful all-round cricketer, Ian Harvey. 14 matches for Australia, picking up 7 wickets in the process, but he is a sought-after item, particularly in county cricket. He plays for Gloucestershire. The coach, John Bracewell. It was one of the real reasons that Gloucester managed to pick up 2 one-day trophies in English cricket last year. His ability to bowl at any stage of the innings, and he's a hard-hitting batsman as well.
He's got medium-sized run-up, Harvey. I think the key is he disguises his slower ball quite well. He doesn't rush into the crease, takes plenty of time to load up. And on that occasion, it looked like a little bit of an off-spinner. He's got a couple of variations. End of the over, 46 for 2.
For Australia's most comprehensive and informed